A warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, participants, and jury members to this enlightening session under the theme Technology Transformation, Driving Business Innovation and Growth.
We are honored to have an exceptional panel of experts and participants who will present their research and insights today. Let's embark on this intellectual journey together.
We are privileged to have with us distinguished session chairs who will guide today's discussion. Dr. Anjali Munde, University of Southampton, Malaysia. Dr. Anjali currently working as assistant professor at University of Southampton, Malaysia, holds a bachelor's degree in mathematics honors and a master's degree in mathematics from Hansraj College, University of Delhi, India, which she earned in 2004 and 2006 respectively. She was awarded the prestigious gold medal from the same university. In 2016, she obtained her PhD in mathematics. Before her current assignment, she taught at renowned institutes such as the School of Inspired Leadership, Gurgaon, Amity University, Noida, IMMT, GGSIP University, Delhi. She has also published several research papers in well-known journals indexed in ABDCB categories, Scopus, IEEE, Web of Science, and Springer. She has also presented technical papers at various national and international conferences and published book chapters indexed in Science Direct and Web of Science. With over 17 years of teaching experience, Dr. Munde's research interests include fuzzy information measures, decision making, coding theory, and business analytics. She is a reviewer, editorial board member of several national and international journals.
Now we have a session coordinator, Dr. Saloni Pahuja, Amity School of Business, AU. UP. Dr. Saloni Pahuja is currently working as Associate Professor in Human Resource Development and Organizational Behavior at Amity School of Business, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, India. She completed her Doctor of Philosophy in 2015 in Management and HR. She is a computer engineer and completed her MBA in Human Resource Management. She is a gold medalist awarded with late Sri Amitabh Khandelwal Memorial Medal for being topper in MBA. She has more than 15 years of experience in academics and in corporate. She has published more than 30 research papers in journals of high repute. She's also on the review panel of International Journal of Repute and an editorial board of Scopus Index journal. She has supervised more than 100 training and research projects at the graduate and postgraduate level. She has achieved various certifications and covered online training programs like how to become an online teacher and NPTEL certification. She has conducted international conferences, taken training projects like leadership and motivation training organized for Election Commission of India and Management of the Future. Essential Leadership Skills in the Digital Era by EITEC. Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program of Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, chaired session in multiple disciplinary international conference and taken session as resource person and faculty. Development program on research methods and data analytics. Her teaching and research interests lie in human resource management, business research, strategic HRM, organizational behavior science, and human resource planning and acquisition.
Now let's dive into the key segment of this session, the paper presentations. We have a total number of 14 presentations in this track. Each participant will present their research followed by valuable insight from our esteemed jury. Time for the paper presentation will be 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the Q&A. Let's begin with our first presenter, Sustainability Issues in Telecom Technologies in India by Monita and Shivendra Fulka. Are you there in the meeting? Okay, moving on to Tech-Enabled Social Enterprises, Merging Innovation with Sustainability by Pooja Sharma and Darshan Subair. Sharma, are you in the meeting? Can you just turn on your camera and mic and start presenting? Pooja Sharma? She's in the meeting. Yes, ma'am, she has done. Who's there? Okay, moving on to sustainable innovation, artisans, social and economic well-being through the Charakra narrative by K. Lakshmi Priya, Anthony Davis.
Yes, I am here.
Yes. Can you share your screen and present?
I will share my PPT.
Okay, thank you.
Is my PPT is visible for you?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Ah. So good morning to all, especially the chair of the session. The paper I'm going to present today is Sustainable Innovation in Rural Tourism and Artisans' Social and Economic Well-Being through the narration of a cooperative society called Charaga Women's Cooperative Society. The rural tourism plays a significant role in promoting rural life, art, culture, and heritage. It offers visitors an authentic ethnic and rustic ambience, following them to experience the tradition and lifestyle of rural communities. This form of tourism not only enriches the travel experience but also contributes to the preservance of cultural heritage and the economic development of the rural artisans. The handloom sector in India is one of the largest unorganized economic activities deeply rooted in the country's cultural and historic fabric. It is a vital source of livelihood for millions of artisans, particularly women. The handloom tourism combines the essence of tourism with the promotion of handloom products. It provides tourists with authentic cultural experiences, allowing them to witness the intrinsic process of handloom weaving, interact with artisans, and purchase unique handmade products. This form of tourism not only boosts the handloom industry but also helps to preserve traditional craft and heritage of our country. According to the handloom census of 2020, approximately 35 lakh handloom workers are employed across India. Out of this, 25 lakh are women, representing a significant share of 72%. This highlights the critical role of women play in the handloom sector and underscores the importance of initiatives like handloom tourism in empowering them economically and socially. The role of handloom in rural development. The handloom sector plays pivotal role in rural development by driving economic growth, preserving cultural heritage, and fostering community empowerment. The one of the best example that I can highlight from my experience, where I have taken as a case study, is Charaga Cooperative Women Cooperative Society in Bhimanakonde in Karnataka. This initiative has revitalized rural livelihoods by empowering local artisans, particularly women, and promoting sustainable handloom practices. It is a testament of how handloom can transform rural economies while preserving the cultural heritage. Women empowerment through handloom. The handloom sector is a powerful vehicle for women empowerment through the training in weaving, dyeing, and other handloom techniques. Beyond economic benefits, the handloom sector enhances the social impact of women by strengthening their decision making roles within families and communities. Any woman become financially self-sufficient when they gain greater autonomy and respect, leading to more equitable and empowered societies when they are having a financial self-sufficiency. According to the data that I have presented before, 70% of handloom workers in India are women. This highlights women's critical role in sustaining the handloom sector and underscores the sector's potential as a tool for gender empowerment and rural development. Charaga's notable handloom initiative is one of the notable handloom initiative, exemplify the transformative power of the sector. It employs over 800 artisans with a strong focus on promoting leadership roles for women. by providing stable livelihoods and opportunity of growth. Charaga has become a beacon of women empowerment in rural India. Literature review. The literature review highlights various studies that explore the challenges, opportunities, and strategies of reviving and sustaining the handloom sector. The study by Vaishak, Adira, and Anandavalli in 2018 examined public awareness of the declining status of the handloom sector. It found that there is a consistent interest in using handloom products, indicating a strong potential for revival. The study concludes on an optimistic note, suggesting that the sector's position can be re-established through sector-specific strategies tailored to its unique context. Another study by Vandida and Mahua in 2017 explored the challenges faced by handloom weavers by analyzing the value chain of handloom industries through field research in different places in West Bengal. The study used cost benefit analysis to examine the value chains of different varieties of saris they were weaving. It highlighted the differences in short term and long term profits between cooperative community weavers and independent weavers. Another study by Jadev and Jadev in 2021 emphasized the importance of sustainability in the handloom sector. It defines sustainability as a combination of ecological well being, social value, and economic validity. The literature review reveals that, while the handloom sector faces challenges, there is significant potential for its revival and growth. Objectives and the scope. The first objective is to explore synergy between rural tourism and handloom sector. Second objective is to showcase cooperative role in sustainable innovation and empowerment. And the third one, to explore the Charagas model. And the last one, final one, to present the integrative matrix of Charagas, innovation, sustainability, and socio-economic well-being. Methodology. The approach combines narrative case study analysis with qualitative data collection methods to explore the Charaga model in depth. Data collection involves a mix of primary and secondary sources. Primary data is gathered through interviews with key stakeholders, including the artisans and cooperative members of this trust. Observation of Charaga's operations and interaction with the artisans are also critical to the data collection process, and also secondary data such as reports and publications also being used for the data collection. The focus area of the study is Charaga's integration of rural tourism with sustainable innovation in the handloom sector. The sample size is 40 participants, 40 people, the members and the members of the cooperative society, and the artisans being taken for the study.
Sir, you just have 1 more minute to go. Can you conclude the PPT?
Yes. So basically, the study that I will go to the innovations. What are the innovations that they have done? Basically, the multiple innovation strategies that have been taken by the cooperative society. They have used the new the dyeing method, the different natural dyes they've been used. They used a collaborative method where they have collaborated with another cooperative society who will be marketing their products. And thirdly, they have done allowing the people to work from home. So diversification, they have allowed the people to work from their home. That is the innovation that it's been implemented by this cooperative society. And let me highlight the roles of tourism in Charaga's growth. The main three areas that they have made, that impact has made on the artisan's life, by the impacts or the innovation that they have done in tourism in that place is, one is expansion of tourism. Second one is the cultural exchange through festivals and workshop. And the last one is the synergy of local infrastructure will develop because of this one. I conclude by giving the summary. In summary, the handloom tourism serves as a powerful bridge between rural development and cultural preservation by integrating tourism with the handloom sector. Initiatives like Charaga have demonstrated how community driven models can create sustainable livelihoods, empowers artisans, and preserve traditional crafts. Future directions: one is promoting immersive tourism experience such as weaving, workshops, and cultural festivals can be arranged. The next one is strengthening the policies. The government can bring new policies for skill development, market access for these artisans. As a closing thought, I want to share rural and handloom tourism paves the way for sustainable growth, empowering communities while preserving heritage. By supporting this initiative, we can create a future where traditional crafts thrive, rural economics flourish, and cultural heritages is celebrated. Let us continue championing these efforts, ensuring a prosperous and inclusive future for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the panel can go for question and answer round if they want to ask anything.
Okay, so I hope Dr. Anthony can hear
Yes, 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 ma'am.
Okay, so thank you so much for your presentation. Of course, you kind of gave a description of your background, the kind of uh, problem that you're trying to address through this study, which was more towards handloom tourism, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you did also kind of mention about the state of knowledge through those literature reviews as well. My question is regarding your research methodology, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned upon that you have used qualitative research wherein you have conducted interviews, right? So I just wanted to understand that how you were able to meet your research objectives. And that was not quite clear with your methodology in terms of the questions, the measurement scale in items. Did you use some kind of conceptual, some kind of theoretical model which was priorly established in the previous literature? Or maybe just giving a justification or a rationale for selecting those analysis techniques or tools.
The methodology that I have used is a narrative case study method. So I have identified a cooperative society who will be working for the social well-being of the women in that rural area. So what I have done, I have taken a break of my holidays on 7 days. I have gone. I have made the questions. Questions I got according to Chambers' model of well-being. Chambers' model of well-being, which says about psychological, physical, and the material well-being of these people, and how the empowerment of the rural people will be done. So this Chambers model being taken according to that I made a questionnaire for an interview. It's not an quantitative study. I have made around 14 or 16 questions being made. So I was going there observing the entire process of it. I got an opportunity to be part of it. At the same time, the person who initiated, Dr. Prasanna, is a great drama acharya of all in India. He is the one who initiated to give job for the women who are jobless in that rural Sagara village in Karnataka. So along with him, I stayed and collected the data. That means interviews and whatever. It's like a story writing. Both we have done, and we have thematical lines we have made.
Okay, so maybe I'm a quantitative person, so it's quite challenging for me to understand this qualitative research. But the rest, I think everything is good from my end. I wish you all the best. I hope you can continue doing this kind of engaging research in your future as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I stop sharing?
Am I audible?
Yes, now audible.
So there is one question from my side.
Okay, sure.
Just highlight the findings which you have identified after applying the sentimental analysis.
Yes.
as I'm unable to relate your findings with your objectives. So again, that's a gap which we are able to actually see in your presentation. So just highlight these findings.
So finding basically two things: how this cooperative, this tourism innovative, how it has been made the life improved of this rural artisans and this cooperative society is that they used to conduct annual drama festival and a festival of their the sustainable products and all. So it will be for a 1 month. In the month of October, what they will do at that time, all the tourists in all over India, people being attracted to that place. That is one of the way that they have improved this demand for their product. Second thing, what they have done, they regularly conduct workshop on handloom weaving. So different institutions, colleges and schools and handloom institutions are there. They used to come over to this place that make that entire village economically improving through two ways. One is the tourism. The second way, the people who are coming there, they will come and stay, homestays and such kind of things been established. And in the from the month of August.
Just to intervene, Dr.
Yes.
Anthony. Actually, Professor is actually asking about to give the justification for you have mentioned upon the sentiment analysis approach. So
Yes,
I hope you understand that's
Yes.
quite a technical, model which deals
Yes.
with text mining, wherein you kind of analyze the sentiments using, there's this algorithm that goes behind it. So we did not see that approach being applied in your study.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are saying about the statistical tool that been used for the thematic study.
Yeah, since you have mentioned in your title, right, sentiment, so that basically deals with one of the text mining. Yeah, that's one area of text mining in which sentiment analysis, one of the algorithms that we use.
And that matrix which you have identified
not
been visible to us.
This is the matrix that we've been using. This is the
literature, right?
No. Then the thematic we have got these titles. When we have when the sentimental analysis when we put into these are the theme points that they've been identifying the core area in the data that we have collected. This natural dyes that they were using and decentralized weaving and
interview.
Pardon?
The interview which you conducted.
Yes.
That was a structured interview, right?
It's not structured interview. I made a 16 points and we were interviewing. It's like a storyline we were making it. And from that entire writing, case kind of things we have written and it has given for the thematic analysis and we have identified which are the major 4 things that been highlighted by them. In that only this natural dyes, decentralized weaving operations or points being evolved.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll proceed. Anthony, can you stop there? Thank you. We have Tech Enable Social Enterprises Merging Innovation with Sustainability by Pooja Sharma and Darshan Subair. Yes, you can start your screen sharing and start with the presentation.
Good morning, all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So good morning to the dignitaries and good morning to everybody present there. This is Dr. Pooja Sharma here and Dr. Darshan Sabharwal happens to be in the class because earlier the timing was 10 a.m. So she is in the class. So she could not join me right now. We were there present in the morning. So I'll be giving the presentation. So the topic of our research paper that we selected is a conceptual paper on tech-enabled social enterprises, merging innovation with sustainability. Just a second. So I'll just give you a brief introduction that why this particular topic was selected by us. And as we all know, in the modern era, where sustainability has become a global priority, the traditional methods...
Sorry to intervene. Can you just put it on the slideshow mode? It's presentation mode.
Okay. Is it fine, ma'am?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Okay. So the traditional methods of addressing social and environmental challenges are increasingly being now supplemented by technology-driven solutions. So one of the most promising trend in this shift is the rise of tech-enabled social enterprises. That means the organizations that leverage technological innovations to tackle complex social, environmental, and economic problems while ensuring long-term sustainability of their business models. So these enterprises not only aim for financial success, but also prioritize a positive social impact. And they finally contribute to the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, these ventures utilize advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, big data, mobile apps to address systemic issues like poverty, inequality, climate change, education, healthcare, etc. So, this research study explored the role of technology in shaping the future of social enterprises by focusing on how these organizations they used tech-driven innovations to address the sustainability challenges. So I'll just give you a background of what are tech-enabled social enterprises. It is basically defined as an organization that applies commercial strategies to maximize the improvements in social, environmental, or financial outcomes. And the increasing prominence of social entrepreneurship coupled with the rapid advancement of technology suggests that the future of sustainability will be driven by innovation at the intersection of business, society, and technology. Then, role of technology, which plays a role of catalyst in such social enterprises. The technology facilitates the creation of more effective, efficient solutions and also enabling enterprises to reach a larger audience. Innovation and sustainability are also the driving forces in this case. So there is a synergy between the two in these enterprises, which presents a unique opportunity for social impact. And by combining entrepreneurial leadership with technological solutions, these organizations are transforming industries, creating new markets, and addressing critical social issues in ways that was previously not imagined by the organizations. So this research paper, we tried to look into the various aspects of tech-enabled social enterprises, explored the role of emerging innovation with sustainability, and we tried that if it could be helpful to create some valuable insights for the policymakers, entrepreneurs, as well as the investors in fostering the growth of this transformative sector. So here, as I already mentioned, this I've covered role of technology, which plays a huge role in social services, in education, online platforms, as well as environmental sustainability. Then the literature review was covered, and the literature review was divided into five areas. The first one was technology as an enabler of social enterprise sustainability, in which Smith and Smith in 2020 emphasized that digital platforms, when integrated into the core business model, can help these social enterprises reach larger audiences, enhance their efficiency, and as well as improve the service delivery. The second concept was taken as challenges in scaling tech-driven solutions. So Singh et al. In 2019, their study explores the operational and logistical barriers faced by social enterprises when expanding their technological solutions to the new regions. And the paper identifies factors such as lack of digital infrastructure, regulatory hurdles, etc. The third criteria which was selected was social and environmental impact measurement. Tiwari 2021 investigated various frameworks used by social enterprises to measure the impact, emphasizing the limitations of traditional measurement tools. And he also highlighted the use. They also highlighted the use of impact dashboards, surveys, and community-based evaluation as the most effective methods for social impact measurement. Number 4 criteria was the role of leadership in scaling social enterprises. Brown and Green 2018 indicates that leaders in social enterprises often require not only technical expertise, but also a strong commitment. And they emphasize the importance of fostering a culture of innovation and sustainability as well as resilience. The impact of external partnerships on social enterprises, where Bansal and Sharma in 2020 explore the role of partnerships between social enterprises, governments, and other organizations, and they highlight the public-private partnerships in particular, which can provide the resources, expertise, and networks needed for scaling. They also argued that without effective collaboration, many tech-enabled social enterprises may struggle to access necessary resources such as funding, technical expertise, as well as market access. The research methodology that was adopted here, because it's a conceptual paper, so it was basically the qualitative research design, where we had in-depth descriptive case studies served as a main tool to examine the real-world examples. The objectives of the study were four: to examine how tech-enabled social enterprises merge innovation with sustainability, to explore the strategies employed by the social enterprises, number three, to analyze the challenges faced by these enterprises, and number four, to evaluate how these enterprises measure the social and environmental impact. So the study focused on 7 social enterprises in India that utilize technology to drive social change. And the criteria that we selected was these should be technology driven. Number two, they should have a clear social or environmental impact. Number three, enterprises should be operational for at least 2 to 3 years, ensuring they have sufficient data. And the study employed in-depth both interviews, both online and offline. Through a semi-structured interviews were conducted where we with the employees or the managers of the selected social enterprises. So the case study selection which we had done was so we did it cross-sector comparisons. So number one was Amul, which we all know that it is a leading dairy cooperative. Second was Selco India Karnataka, a social enterprise delivering solar energy solutions to rural India. Number three was Goonj, they're based at Delhi, a social enterprise focused on waste management and rural empowerment. Number four, Benevolent India, a platform for microloans and financial inclusions. Number five, Pollinate Group, a business model that empowers rural women through technology-based entrepreneurship. The Rural Shores.
You just have 1 more minute to go. Can you conclude the PPT?
Okay, just a second, ma'am. Okay. So I'll just go to so the first two, the strategies were checked, the technology integration and how they are doing innovations. And the third finding was the challenges which were faced by these enterprises. So the number one was, I'll just go to the challenges. So number one was the infrastructure and resource constraint. Number two challenge that was faced was under which was access to capital. Number two was technical and operational challenges. Number three, regulatory and policy barriers, where it was policy support and consistent policies of the government. Number four was the market demand and consumer behavior. Fifth challenge we discovered was the talent and skill gaps. And number six challenge was sustainability of the funding models. So there was a lot of dependency on the external funding. The fourth objective was the finding was evaluation of measurement of the social and environmental impact of those selected enterprises. So we tried to find out through each case study which we had selected. All that is given in the paper that we have given. So the final conclusion, I'll just conclude. The current study highlighted the various aspects of tech-enabled social enterprises and the 7 enterprises which we have selected cross sectors. And it was done to understand the way these organizations are integrating cutting-edge technology into their business models and highlighting the role of tech-driven innovation in fostering sustainability and social impact. So by examining the challenges and evaluating the methods used to measure the social and environmental impact, this study provided a comprehensive understanding of how these enterprises assess their efforts. And the scope of the study is that the next paper that we plan to do is quantitative, where we now want to do some empirical research related to this. So here we are, so this is my submission, humble submission to you through my paper. Thank you, ma'am.
You can go ahead and ask questions now if you have any.
Okay, Dr. Pooja, again,
Yes,
I appreciate your presentation and
yes,
the topic that you have selected.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, since it was kind of a qualitative study.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, so since you already proposed that you're planning to conduct your future research, which would kind of establish a quantitative,
Yes, ma'am.
But anyhow, if you can just, because the slides nowhere kind of mention about, you just narrated the objectives, whereas
Yes, ma'am.
in the
Should I
slides,
repeat the objectives?
no, you can just quickly brief about your findings of the studies.
Yes, ma'am. That
So
is
that
what,
we can.
ma'am, the findings, the first objective was to examine how tech enables social merge innovation. So whenever, like in my research paper, if in our research paper, when you see that every, like for example, when I have taken the case study of Amul, I have done there, what are the strategies they have used and what is their technology integration, what are they have done and the impact. Similarly, when I went to next, so technology integration and their impact. So the first two were covered there, the findings, and in the third, the challenges which we have identified that I have already mentioned in the presentation just now. This was the third finding, that what were the challenges that were faced. There were around 6 challenges, and the details have been have been given as per the each enterprise. Like for example, if it was enterprises like Selco India and Pollinate Group, which deploy solar energy solutions and health products, they may find it difficult to ensure that tech-driven solutions reach the intended audiences. So here they found required investments as was a big and infrastructure was a huge barrier to their growth. So different enterprises faced different challenges. So we have clubbed it into 6 challenges and given it a, and under subheadings we have discussed. Like for example, issues like
Okay. Right. And one more thing regarding
Yes,
maybe doing a critical review of your own results in terms of, did you kind of establish that how reliable your results were, in terms of did you kind of come across any limitations or some
Yes, ma'am.
errors?
There were certain limitations to the study which we have identified. Number one was the geographical limitations, because we were based out of Bhopal and we could only do offline interviews of 1 or 2 companies here. Others we had to do online. So sometimes what happens, there are some bias could happen there. Self-reporting in surveys and interviews may introduce bias, as stakeholders might overstate the effectiveness of their technological solutions, that we realized. So one was geographical limitations, second was bias, and the third was time constraints. The research is limited to a specific time frame, which may not fully capture the long-term impact of tech adoption in these enterprises. So we will be taking care of these kind of limitations in our next study, where we need to work on maybe some selected enterprises where we can do some quantitative research. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, Dr. Pooja, can you just highlight the implications of your study?
The implications of the study, which we think would be useful for our for the if it is of the reference to the policymakers. So, despite the challenges like resource constraints, data privacy issues, ethical concerns, tech-enabled social enterprises still represent a paradigm shift in entrepreneurship, and they emphasize that organizations should move towards economic, social, and environmental values as well. So, this research we feel that will provide some valuable insight for the policymakers, entrepreneurs, as well as the investors, so that they could, in this transformative sector, they could redefine the business success for a more sustainable future, and they could start thinking on UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay, any specific reputational benefits that you might have come across after doing the entire interview process of those 40 individuals?
No, mine is not 40, ma'am. Ours is a seven case studies which we have selected.
Certain organizations, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So,
I'll just state, like for example, ma'am, when we were doing the challenges, like in there were certain impact measurement study which was quite interesting when we had done, and we got to know social impact matrices are used by companies to relate to community empowerments, livelihoods, education. Like for example, Pollinate Group, they measure the number of women entrepreneurs trained, income generated by these, or the number of rural households that benefit from affordable health products. So these metrics can be categorized at outcome based or output based. based. So there was there were enterprises which were focusing on sustainability, and they were also trying to measure it, which was I think we really found it very interesting, and that is why we decided that we should also further there is a scope of research further in this kind of study. Like even if it is there was one company where we mentioned about waste reduction or sustainable they were doing waste reduction, so they were also trying to do quantitative impact assessment as well as qualitative impact assessment of the work that they were doing. So this is how we have gone ahead, ma'am. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay, Dr. Pooja, one last question. What is the criteria you have taken for the selection of the experts for which you have conducted the interview?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just share with you. We selected the enterprises. This was cross sector. So I just mentioned that we selected the criteria that we selected was number one, that these enterprises should be technology driven, employing technologies such as AI, blockchain, Internet of Things, mobile apps, or renewable energy solutions to achieve their mission. Number two, they should have a clear social or environmental impact, demonstrating measurable outcomes in sustainability. Number three, the enterprises should be operational for minimum 2 to 3 years, ensuring there is sufficient data and experience available to draw insights from. So on the basis of that, we tried to search these in different from the various different sectors.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Pooja.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So next up, we have to analyze the impact of AI in Indian healthcare industry through consumers' perspective by Mahendra Gurjar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mahendra, and today I'm here to present my research on impact of AI in Indian healthcare industry through consumer perspective. This study explores how AI-driven healthcare solutions are transforming the industry, consumer preferences, and the challenges that come with the AI adoption in healthcare industry. Let's begin. As we know, artificial intelligence is transforming the healthcare worldwide, and the India is no exception. From telemedicines and AI powered diagnosis to fitness tracking and mental health support, AI is reshaping the way people assess and experience healthcare services. This study aims to analyze how consumers in India perceive AI-driven healthcare applications, which include Practo, 1mg, Apollo 24/7, and MFine. Okay, sorry. We will examine consumer trust, satisfaction, and overall impact of AI in healthcare. The research objective. To guide this research, I have outlined some key objectives. To examine the extent of consumer awareness regarding the use of AI in healthcare application, and second, to investigate the key factors that influence consumer trust and willingness to AI-powered healthcare solution. Third, to analyze how AI-driven healthcare applications impact consumer decisions and health-related behaviors. Fourth, to identify the benefits consumer associate with AI-based health services along with the challenges they faced in adopting them. Fifth, to measure consumer satisfaction with AI-driven healthcare platform, focusing their efficiency, accuracy, and ease of use. Sixth, to explore how AI-based healthcare solutions affect the traditional doctor-patient relationship, particularly in terms of trust and reliability. So next is my literature review. In this, I have reviewed many research paper on my in related to my topics, and in this, my literature review examines existing research on AI in healthcare, particularly its role in improving accessibility, efficiency, and patient outcomes. In this, studies suggest that AI enhanced diagnostic accuracy, enables virtual consultations, and provide personalized healthcare recommendations. However, concern related to data privacy, ethical consideration, and trust is in AI-powered healthcare is still exist. This research built upon previous studies to assess AI impact, especially from an Indian consumer's perspective. Next is my research methodology. This study follows a descriptive and exploratory research design. A quantitative approach was used and the collecting through the structured survey with 150 to 200 respondents, and the primary data was gathered from the consumers and AI-based apps. And secondary data was sources from the journal articles, research papers, and the industry reports. A non-probable and the sample methodology are target population consumer who have used AI-powered healthcare application, and the data collection instruments are survey questionnaire and the data analysis techniques which are used. The quantitative data is analyzed by using the Excel with a statistical method including correlation and chi-square and z-test. Some findings and result. The key findings of survey, the most top 5 key findings are the most user, the 61%, around 61% are aged 18 to 24, and the student are salaried employed as the primary user. Top app used are the 1mg, which is 54.3%, and the Precto 51.4%, and mainly the medicine orders and the doctor consultations. Major challenges are service delay, inaccurate information, and navigation issues. Fourth, the trust and satisfaction. The 67% around trust AI healthcare service to some extent. And fifth, the user want variable device integration, real-time consultations, and multi-language support. The Z test. I have applied the Z test by taking the two sample means, which are the how they are familiar with the using of app AI applications for healthcare, and would they recommend to it to others or not. The Z test result indicate that the difference between the two sample mean is not statistically significant. With a high p-value 0.99, we conclude that there is no strong evidence of variation between the two groups. Hence, the null hypothesis is not rejected. Next, I have done the correlation analysis between the frequency and the app used, and overall satisfaction. There is a weak but statistically significant positive correlation, suggesting that the frequent user tend to have slightly higher satisfaction level.
बच्चे चूज कर लीजिए, उनको क्वेश्चन चुन लीजिए, जब वहाँ कोई नया क्वेश्चन ना हो और तो पहले से क्वेश्चन पता हो, बच्चे पता हो, 10 बच्चे करना है। सर मैनेजमेंट
AI provided health information does not strongly impact consumer trust in doctors. The third technique I used is chi-square. A chi-square test was conducted to determine if user friendliness influence recommendation or not. Here, the p-value which come is 0.37, indicate no statistical significant relationship, mean that ease of use alone does not determine whether a user recommend an AI healthcare app or not. Next, the conclusion. In this, the AI is transforming the Indian healthcare industry, making healthcare services more accessible, efficient, and user friendly. However, challenges like trust issue, data privacy concerns, and regulatory gaps remain barriers to wider adoption. The youngster consumers are more open to AI in healthcare, while older and rural population face challenges. To maximize AI's potential in healthcare, we need responsible implementation, strong regulations, and better integration with traditional medical services. The next slide is implications. Uh, it has 5 points. The first, theoretical implications. It enhances the existing theories on AI adoption, technologies, acceptance, and consumer. Second, the practical implications. It helps. It helps healthcare provider improve AI driven features for better experience. Third, the policy implications call for strong regulations on AI accuracy, data privacy, and ethical use in healthcare. The fourth, the social implications. AI can bridge a healthcare gap in rural area, but require digital literacy support. Fifth, the future research implication. Need future studies on AI long-term impact on the doctor-patient relationship and diagnosis accuracy. There are references, and thank you.
Okay, so Mahendra,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I would like to give you some suggestions that can help you in improving your research. Okay, so I can see you have done some kind of groundwork, but uh, there is a lot of rigor that needs to be added to your entire research in terms of you did some description of your background, right, and highlighted the issue. But your literature review, it can be more critical, not just just describing about what is in the present state of knowledge, but kind of drawing some conclusions regarding the gaps. Also, the research needs to be more structured in the form of one of your objectives says that you wanted to identify key factors. So you should kind of mention upon your constructs that you have identified. If you can build upon some hypothesized model, some conceptual model in terms of from your gap analysis, and a lot of things required to be improvised for your research methodology as well, in terms of you need to mention upon your sampling techniques and why you have selected 100 to 150 sample size, right? So you need to mention the rationale and the background behind everything, right? Also, for your analysis part, I would recommend that if you can create a table that can highlight upon what were your measurement items, the scales. uh, it would also require that did you also ensure that there was reliability and validity of the questionnaire that needs to be established before we go ahead with data analysis. So some major, observations from my side that I would like to recommend. So I can see that you have used some of the descriptive statistics to kind of draw some insights, but uh, it needs a lot of comprehensive, approach to kind of work towards this kind of problem. So I would suggest that in future, if you work towards a particular problem, or if you want to extend this particular research problem, so kindly address to all these gaps. Okay, yeah, that's it.
So Mahindra, Anjali ma'am has already given you the feedback. The same feedback, like what is your title, is not mapping with what you have done inside your research, right? Like your title is saying to analyze the impact of AI on the consumers in the healthcare industry, right? But in the research, that is not going to be there. So you can discuss with your guide, finding out your main variables and identify which is the appropriate statistical tool to find out the impact, because the tools you have used are not for that purpose, right? The Z test, chi-square test you have used. So you have to find out your variables clearly and the scale to measure those variables, and then which statistical tool you are going to use it, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now we have the impact of social media aesthetics on luxury brand perception among millennials and Gen Z by Prisha Talwar.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will be talking about the impact of social media aesthetics on luxury brand perception among millennials and Gen Z. Since this is an ongoing research, I will be speaking based on the secondary data that has been collected. According to Cambridge, luxury is defined. According to Cambridge, luxury is defined as something that offers great comfort, which is expensive but not necessary. So, the luxury brand industry has traditionally relied on exclusivity, heritage, craftsmanship to maintain their premium status. However, with the rise of digital transformation, luxury brands have had to adapt their marketing strategies to remain relevant in a competitive market. Social media, particularly visually driven platforms such as Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, for example, have emerged as a critical tool for brand positioning and consumer engagement. Among social media users, Generation Z and millennials have turned out to be the most significant consumer segment engaging with luxury brands. These generations are highly influenced by visual storytelling, sustainability, influencer marketing, emotional appeal, emotional brand connections, and so on, making these aesthetics a key factor in shaping their perception of luxury brands. Luxury brands now are focusing on curating visually cohesive and immersive and engaging digital experiences. For example, the aesthetic value of, for example, their Instagram handle, the tone and themes of their handles, and so on. Social media aesthetics encompasses various elements, including visual cohesion, like the color schemes, typography, imagery, etc., storytelling, emotional appeal, sustainable messaging, and so on. And research suggests that a well curated social media presence enhances the brand trust, exclusivity, and purchase intention among the consumers. Millennials and Gen Z as luxury consumers. So, millennials are the generation born between 1981 to 1996, and Generation Z born between 1997 to 2012. They are the largest consumer groups that shape the future of luxury retail. Their purchasing decisions are heavily influenced by social media and the aesthetics, and they rely a lot on visual storytelling and influencer endorsements and influencer marketing when engaging with luxury brands. Millennials and Gen Z's high digital engagement and demand for aesthetic appeal drive luxury brands to innovate their social media strategies, and platforms such as Instagram influence not just the brand perception but also the purchasing behavior. This is the review of literature. The first one, number one, examining the impact of influencers on purchase intention of luxury fashion brands. Influencers play a very crucial role when it comes to purchase decision of luxury products, with micro influencers being more trusted than mega influencers. Mega influencers can basically be defined as celebrities, and daily users feel that micro influencers, which are smaller influencers who have had their handles on Instagram, for example, Instagram, to be more reliable and trustworthy than bigger celebrities. The reason for this can be that they feel more connected to micro influencers. Then Generation Z values authenticity and relatability and transparency in influencer promotions. And social media enhances luxury brand visibility but also poses as a challenge to maintain exclusivity. And consumer trust in influencers is moderate, with skepticism towards paid promotions. Number two, the social media's impact on luxury branding. So, social media transforms luxury branding by balancing exclusivity with accessibility, and visual storytelling and emotional appeal drive brand perception. Platform engagement varies. For example, Instagram and TikTok foster interaction, YouTube for more, say, detailed videos, while testing products or any service, for example. Then social media boosts brand trust and purchase intent among millennials and Gen Z. And challenges again include maintaining exclusivity, sustainability, and the messaging, and the overall exposure of influencers. Number three, how social media engagement and consumer interaction influence luxury brand perception. Social media is a critical driver of luxury brand perception with a strong impact on both the generations. Again, storytelling and emotional appeal significantly shape how consumers perceive these luxury brands. Social media engagement positively influences brand perception and consumer loyalty. Of course, generational differences do exist. Generation Z is more responsive and interactive, and is also now demanding ethical and sustainable uh, stories or brands, while millennials value authenticity and exclusivity more. Consumer engagement does not directly impact brand perception, but it shows a slight positive correlation for Generation Z. Number four, relationship between social media marketing and luxury brand perception among millennials and Gen Z. Uh, Luxury brands are sure, ma'am. So my objective is to study the impact of social media aesthetics on luxury brand perception among the generations, and then to explore strategies which luxury brands can adopt to enhance their desirability among their audiences. These will be the variables. The elements of social media aesthetics are visual cohesion, then storytelling, emotional appeal, sustainability, ethics, and influencer marketing. The elements of luxury brand perception include brand prestige and exclusivity, brand trust and prestige, brand differentiation, aspirational value, consumer engagement, and perceived value and exclusivity. Sure, thank you. This is the tentative questionnaire that, or the survey that will be distributed. And moving on to the research methodology, the research design, I have adopted a descriptive and causal research design. Descriptive to describe, basically focus on the elements of social media aesthetics, and causal to understand the impact of the aesthetics on the purchase intention of millennials and Gen Z. Then data collection methods include a mix of primary data and secondary data. The sample size will be between 100 to 150 respondents. And the sampling technique is a simple random sampling technique from the target, so that it ensures that the target gets an equal chance of being included in the survey. And these are the references. Thank you.
Yeah, Prisha. Uh, yeah, so your presentation was quite impressive. I just want to add some comments here. Firstly, I kind of believe that when you are given an introduction and the background of the study, uh, you could have, highlighted on some statistics of the current data trends, maybe, on your particular topic, along with the relevant citations, so that it can kind of emphasize what is the significance of your study in kind of more tangible way. So I did saw that you've written some description about the insights that you have drawn, but kind of mention it with those relevant citations. Also, in the literature review, you kind of described the entire key findings and the challenges, but you can maybe consider adding a brief discussion on what those existing studies have overlooked or they have inadequately addressed, and also in your maybe in your research methodology. You can define, as I was suggesting to the previous presenter, that try coming up with a conceptual model which can be on the basis of some theoretical model which is already developed, right? So see what kind of previously established theoretical model can be incorporated in your research. There are various theoretical models such as technology acceptance model and so on. Maybe you can explore more on that. So consider adding them as well. And you did mention upon that these are the sampling techniques and the sample size you are proposing, but kind of propose them with a supporting literature. So if you say that you're using random sampling technique, so there should be a supporting literature. And same ways, whatever statistical techniques that you will be utilizing for, you're planning to use SEM or whatever technique that you plan to propose, give a rationale, give a justification for why you are utilizing those analysis tools, right? So that ways it will become more robust. Yeah.
Oh, ma'am,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so as we have seen that this is the entire proposed model, right? There's no such kind of analysis which you have done as of now, right? So can you just highlight the findings on the basis of the entire literature review you have done?
So one of the biggest finding was that your online luxury retail is gaining a lot of traction, but at the same time, a large population still prefers to maybe say visit stores for an entire experience of luxury shopping or services. That would be one. Other than that, Generation Z, they are considered as the woke generation. So uh, their key focus is on sustainability and ethical services, be it ethical products or ethically sourced products or sustainable material that are used in these luxury brands. That would be one.
Thank you, Prisha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Next up, we have the impact of digital learning initiatives on employee retention in steel industry by Shivangi Sisodia.
Very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shivangi Sisodia. Today, I'm going to give a presentation on the topic the impact of digital learning initiatives on employee retention in steel industry. Starting with the introduction. Digital learning initiative basically refers to the use of digital tools and technologies to deliver educational content and training programs. Now, what's the role of digital learning in enhancing employee retention? It boosts employee retention by enabling continuous skill development, fostering career growth, and incorporating interactive elements like quizzes and gamification. It offers flexibility, allowing employees to learn at their own pace while reducing training costs and time. Personalized and engaging learning experiences enhance motivation, job satisfaction, and productivity. Companies that invest in digital learning cultivate a culture of continuous improvement, ultimately strengthening the employee commitment and loyalty.
Ivangi, your slides are not moving. It's
Ma'am,
static. Yeah, it's on the first slide. I can't see the slides moving.
coming to the literature review. So, this literature review is divided into 5 areas. First is enhancing job satisfaction and retention. So, employee satisfaction is a key factor in retention. Digital learning initiatives play a crucial role in improving job satisfaction. And Suryani found that effective training in the education sector enhances retention. Eder Bigbe highlighted that highly quality digital learning environment boosts satisfaction and retention. Now, training programs also contribute to employee development and engagement. Employees feel valued when provided with growth opportunities. Dure and Joes reported that digital learning in the IT sector enhances retention by equipping employees with essential skills. Next is continuous employee development. So, ongoing learning opportunities are essential for retention. Digital learning technologies support employees during industry transitions. Naraini emphasized that continuous development increases productivity and retention.
Next is knowledge management. So, effective knowledge management supported by digital learning tools enhances retention. Zaid found that knowledge management practices in the telecom sector significantly affect retention rates. Digital platforms encourage knowledge sharing, fostering a culture of continuous learning and engagement. Next is post COVID 19 digitalization. So, the pandemic accelerated the adoption of digital learning initiatives. Digital learning became crucial for adopting to new work environments. Rivlani highlighted the increased relevance of digital learning in retaining employees post COVID 19. Okata emphasized digital learning's role in supporting remote work and addressing retention challenges. The last one is innovative learning models. So, AI and machine learning are transforming digital learning initiatives and their impact on retention. Teresa and Fantinelli discussed how integrating AI and machine learning helps build a competitive workforce. Ludic stressed the need to future proof retention practices through digital engagement and communication. Now, these are the three objectives of mine. First is to evaluate the impact of digital learning initiatives on employee retention. Second is to understand employee perceptions and experiences with digital learning platforms. And the last one is to provide recommendations of improving employee retention through digital learning initiatives. My null hypothesis is there is no significant impact of digital learning initiatives on employee retention. And alternative hypothesis is that there is a significant impact of digital learning initiatives on employee retention. Sources of data collection. So the primary data collection method included using questionnaires for this research. Secondary data collection method. So this included reviewing academic research journals, articles, and reports on digital learning initiatives and employee retention. Sampling technique. A random sampling technique was used here, and the sample size was 100 employees. I personally visited the manufacturing plants and offices to gather data from the employees. So, this is the descriptive analysis. For digital learning initiatives, that is the independent variable. The upper limit and the lower limit are 23.39 and 11.81 respectively. The mean score being closer to the upper limit suggests that on average employees perceive a relatively high implementation of digital learning initiatives. For employee retention, that's the dependent variable. The upper limit and the lower limit are 23.40 and 12.38 respectively.
Just a second, Shivangi. I have a question here. How did you measure digital learning initiative? And how did you measure employee retention?
Ma'am, so basically, I had made a questionnaire, and there were two sections for digital learning initiatives. So, in digital learning initiative, there were questions regarding the digital learning platform that the organization is providing to the employees and what kind of courses they are providing to the employees, whether they are matching.
Okay, so kindly ensure when you give your presentation, if you can just share those, measurement items that can help in understanding that what were your measurement items. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. So the mean score being closer to the upper limit suggests that on average employees perceive a relatively high level of retention in the organization. This is correlation analysis. So the correlation between digital learning and employee retention was 0.888. This indicates a strong positive correlation, which means that an increase in digital learning initiatives is associated with higher employee retention. This is regression analysis.
Sure. One more question again here. How can you run a correlation between digital learning initiative and employee retention? Did you measure them on a Likert scale, on a scale?
Yes, ma'am. There was a Likert.
So correlation cannot be used to measure the relationship between, maybe you could have used other techniques which could help in analyzing, the scales. Because correlation is specifically used when you have numerical data. Foundation of utilizing correlation analysis is that you should have two numerical variables, right? So
Sure.
for analyzing these kinds of variables which are categorical or scale, okay, you can use other techniques, maybe.
I've also used regression analysis, ma'am.
No, you cannot. You cannot run regression on your dependent variable is employee retention. You cannot run regression on this. No, sorry, this is not correct.
All right, ma'am. So, ma'am, according to the results, we reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative one. And there's a substantial evidence, according to the result, that digital learning initiatives have a significant impact on employee retention. Coming to the findings, so 83% found digital learning programs easily accessible. 8% reported difficulties. 88% found the initiatives relevant to their job roles, and 93% said that they positively impacted the job performance. 94% felt supported in their professional growth through continuous digital learning. 88% rated the quality of digital learning content positively. 90% found the initiatives effective in keeping skills up to date. 94% felt motivated to engage in them. And 89% said digital learning availability influenced their decision to stay with the employer. And 92% noted a positive impact on on employee retention. Conclusion. So, the findings of the study highlight the significant impact of accessible digital learning programs on employee skill enhancement, job performance, and confidence. The alignment of learning content with job roles ensures relevance, leading to improved workplace effectiveness. Furthermore, the availability of continuous learning opportunities reinforces the organization's commitment to professional development, fostering a culture of growth. High quality learning content has been instrumental in enriching the overall experience, making digital learning a key factor in employee retention. These initiatives collectively contribute to a supportive and growth oriented environment, which is crucial for sustaining employee satisfaction and reducing turnover. Therefore, prioritizing and enhancing digital learning programs will be essential in retaining top talent and ensuring long term organizational success. These are the recommendations that I have provided, that we can use adaptive technologies to tailor content to individual needs and career goals. Second is to add interactive elements like quizzes and gamified modules to boost participation and retention, because it creates a sense of competitiveness among the employees. Uh, then is to implement regular check-ins, progress tracking, and mentorship for support. Use case studies and practical exercises to apply skills in real world scenarios. Next is to use social learning tools like forums and group projects to foster knowledge sharing and community. Encourage and reward ongoing learning and professional development. Last is to ensure learning programs support strategic objectives and required competencies. These were the implications, strategic importance of digital learning. So, digital learning initiatives are very important for talent retention, reducing turnover cost, and maintaining stability. Second is employee development and performance. So, continuous learning enhances workforce skills, leading to improved performance and productivity. Third is enhance employee satisfaction. So, prioritizing digital learning creates a supportive environment, boosting job satisfaction and morale. Fourth is adaptability to industry changes. So, keeping skills updated through digital learning helps organizations stay competitive in a rapidly evolving industry. Fifth is cost effective talent management. Digital learnings offer scalable and efficient training, supporting both employee growth and budget management. Sixth is support for a learning culture. So, promoting continuous learning fosters a culture of innovation, agility, and resilience. These were the references. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think I've already given the suggestions. Okay, so
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you collected the information using a Likert scale,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And after that, that was a you try to analyze the relationship between two variables,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So that's a quantitative analysis which you have
Yes,
applied.
ma'am.
So can you tell us about the impact of the independent variable on the dependent variable? What is the value of R square and how much it is contributing?
Yes, ma'am. So the value of R square is 0.789, and 78.9% of the variation in employee retention is explained by digital learning initiatives, which indicates a strong model fit. And also, like, since the p value is extremely small, of course, which is less than 0.05, so we can conclude that the model is statistically significant, and digital learning initiatives has a substantial effect on employee retention, according to this analysis,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now we have exploring challenges in implementing total quality management in SMES by Saurav Kumar Yadav.
A very good morning to all. I'm Saurav Kumar Yadav from BBA BD, and today in this presentation we are going to explore challenges in implementing total quality management in SMEs, a case study on private security sector. This presentation outlines a research plan for the dissertation exploring challenges in implementing total quality management in SMEs. It's my dissertation topic, and it is ongoing research right now. In introduction, what is total quality management? It's a structured approach to improving quality, efficiency, and customer satisfaction in organization. It has four principles: customer focus, continuous improvement, employee relation, and management support. Why SMEs? SMEs are the backbones of economies worldwide, contributing significantly to employment and economic growth in every country. And SMEs stands for small and medium enterprises. Small is where investment in plant and technology and machinery is less than 10 crores or 10 crores and turnover is less than 50 crores. Meanwhile, medium are those where investment in plants and technology and machinery is less than 50 crores and turnover is less than 250 crores. Why private security sector? Security services require high reliability, training personnel, and consistent service quality. Research aim and objectives. Our aim is to explore the key challenges faced by SMEs in private security sector when implementing technology total quality management. Our objectives are identify barriers in adopting total quality management in private security SMEs, evaluate the impact of leadership, resources, and training on TQM implementation. We are also going to provide practical recommendations for improving quality management. So here's the literature review. I did more than 40 literature review for this topic, and some of them are here. And we can conclude from these. For example, the first study, TQM in SMEs, the key focus was difference in TQM adoption between SMEs and large firms, where we find that SMEs lags in adoption due to size-related constraints. Here are more studies. So this is literature review and methodology. In this, we use literature review as well as a survey and interviews. Literature review, previous studies on TQM in SMEs and service industries. In surveys, since I've told you that this is ongoing research, So we are planning to do more than 10 per security service in security companies and SMEs, including Grover Securitas. Questionnaire topics, TQM awareness, leadership, training, financial impact, and data collection will be done through online surveys and direct interviews. Results and discussion on the basis of secondary studies that I have done. Our key findings were financial barriers, leadership issues, training gaps, operational challenges, and conclusion from the secondary studies. TQM though benefits SMEs but faces many challenges. Leadership and trainings are key to success. Technology can improve implementations, and further research needed. Further research is definitely needed in security sector for TQM. Implication for SMEs: investing in staff training and leadership development, leverage technology for quality control, and for the policymakers for SMEs, support SMEs with financial incentives for TQM, establish industry-wide quality standards, though there are some already standards, but we still need few more. For researchers, more case studies on TQM in security services, and these are some references. So thank you everyone.
It's quite brief, Saurav. So I think I would also suggest to you that if you can, since you said it's ongoing, that there are some areas for improvement for you as well in terms of you did give some introduction, but again, in that introduction section, I could not find, the relevant literature, and also in the literature review, could not address to what are the gaps. So you did report it upon the key findings, right, and the uh, corresponding literature. But again, that part of what were the gaps identified, which can help in understanding, the need for the research. So that can be worked upon. And again, for your research methodology, I would suggest that if you can, come up with some comprehensive research methodology which can elaborate upon your entire tools, techniques, methods that you will be employing. So that can make it, because presently it is like I think it's at a very base level. Okay, you need to build upon that.
Thank you.
I think ma'am has already given you a lot of suggestions, and
Yes.
there should be no such questions related to this. Best wishes for your future research. So
Thank you, ma'am.
please keep into consideration these comments, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next up, we have Impact of Packaging on Purchase Intention in the Food and Beverages Market by Dhruv Bharadwaj.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for my dissertation and this ongoing research is impact of packaging on purchase intention in the food and beverages industry. Now, I think in the introduction, I would like to explain to you why I picked this topic and the importance of it thereof. And the reason for that is in today's day and age, packaging, although unofficially and through conversations, comes across as the fifth P for marketing. Now, there is no existing literature saying that, but then again, I think we have witnessed it in our lives and the lives of those around us. Packaging is very, very vital for the FMCG industry, largely because customers form perceptions around packaging. Your product in there is also very, very important, but the initial purchase, as I would like to show you through some of the research here, shows that 70% of the sales that happen, according to this research, at the point of sale. Now, at the point of sale, there is no salesman. The Kirana store isn't really offering you any incentive to buy a certain product, or the supermarket isn't, except for the discount offers, but that does not really come under the purview here. 70% of the buying decisions come at the point of sale. Now, therein comes the importance of packaging. How is your product packaged? What is the color scheme? What is the informative labels? Are they true? Does adding sustainability, does adding eco-friendliness to the packaging label or to the product sourcing, does that help a customer or a brand make that sale, make that point of purchase? And that is what we want to study through this research, while also understanding that to what degree do the variables that we have selected affect the sale. Now, these are some of the research gaps that we have found. And the biggest one is there is no integrative research. Everybody has done research around elements of packaging, which will be shown, which have been adapted from these researchers. My variables have been adapted from the literature reviews that I've done. And there have been no integrated studies for packaging and labeling. There have been studies that are focused on packaging color, or just the functionality aspect of things, or just the sustainability aspect of things. But neither have created a cocoon of sorts to really drive home how much packaging affects purchase intention. Sustainability impact, I think it's self-explanatory. Very few studies have been done, but but the need for these studies has increased exponentially throughout the years, largely because in today's day and age, the consumers are rather more informed about where their food is coming from, where their beverages are coming from, whether the containers of those beverages are sustainably sourced or not, especially in the urban landscape, wherein the majority of the respondents of this study will come from. Clarity of printed information. I think this comes on the backdrop of, especially in India, of the launch of quick commerce. I think because many of the times when you buy products of a quick commerce or through online channels, there is a lack of transparency between the seller and the buyer when it comes to the printed information in the back of it. Impulse buying drivers, there needs to be more quantitative evidence when it comes to whether or not packaging is an impulse buying driver, because as stated before through one study, that they studied that in the packaged bottle industry, especially in Maharashtra, 70% of the decisions are made at the point of sale. So would a different color push a customer to buy something faster? I think I've explained the objectives, but just to give you a short view of them, I want to do two major things, and that is focus on the cumulative impact of different variables, and also to find out which variable through my study, and only through my study, this does not affect anything universally, but affects purchase intention the most. These are my variables that will be shared to respondents. Visual appeal of packaging, aesthetic and functional packaging design. These are two different variables but are very closely related. Perceived quality of packaging material. I think the word perceived here is very, very important, because no matter what the company claims, any company claims, I think consumer perception varies heavily based on brand loyalty, or I would say brand awareness. Information content on labels, how accurate is it? Is that really important? And the typography and text design. I think visual appeal, and this is again very well linked, because if you use a different color scheme on your overall packaging and a different font or color scheme on your typography and text design, I think that does matter a lot in identifying well-known brands. These will be the hypotheses, largely focusing on the different focusing on the different variables and a cumulative hypothesis at the end. I think this really drives homeward. So this is a quick view of my questionnaire, focusing on the different aspects of packaging that have been identified. Okay, so the research methodology. The research will be quantitative and will be causal. By that, I mean there will be a study on the cause and effect relationship between two variables or two or more variables in this case. I will be using regression analysis by converting, I will be using the Likert scale first of all, before I go further, to understand the degree to which certain things affect a consumer and how much do they agree with those statements or how much do they disagree with those statements. The sample size will be at least 150 respondents. The reason for that is I want to get enough of a substantial respondents wherein the research is meaningful, but not so much to the point wherein it is very, very hard to compile that data and, give a meaningful result on it. And also to I would say kind of reduce the biasness, because I feel like the research may be biased if too many people from one particular area come together to give votes, or too many people from similar ideologies come, or too many people from the similar age groups come. So that kind of skews the research towards one area, wherein I am focusing more on a generalized scope. Random sampling will be used largely again because I want to kind of save this research from biasness. I think it will offer diverse perspectives across different age groups and different genders. Data analysis, I think I've already said about that, but yes, I would like to do reliability analysis afterwards, after I have gathered enough data for it. And these are my references. Thank you very much for giving me patient hearing, and I'm open to questions now.
So seems like Dhruv was listening to all the feedback, so he's kind of incorporated many of them, but could not manage to address completely because that needs a lot of work to be done. So yeah, Dhruv, I kind of like your topic, but again, some suggestions in terms of you did mention upon that these are your constructs, these are your measurement items, but you kind of support them in terms of you would have to mention the supporting literature, where did you get hold of these constructs. If you can come up and maybe propose your model, that will give some uh, visualization to your model as well. And with regard to again the analysis part, I would like to mention, so when you deal with these kinds of Likert scale, variables, be it dependent or independent. So when your target variable is Likert scale, which is basically ordinal, right? So you don't go for standard linear regression model. That is not ideal for that. So instead, maybe you can look for logistic regression model. Okay. And same ways when you have your independent variables, which are Likert scale, okay, and for them, one of the suitable techniques is partial least square regression, PLS, right? So maybe you can explore more on that and kind of work and reframe your kind of proposal, okay?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we have Bibliometric analysis of ESG integration and portfolio management by Sandeep Nagar and Shruti Ashram.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. Respected session chair and session co-chairs, professors, scholars, and students. Myself, Sandeep Nagar, the research scholars from Bennett University. Today, I am present here for giving the presentations on the research, which title is a bibliometric analysis of ESG integrations in portfolio management under the guidance of Dr. Shruti Ashok ma'am.
Now, the introduction part of the research. The sustainable finance is gaining traction due to the increasing awareness of ESG issues. So why I select this topic? That we are facing the various problems in the environmental and social and governance. So the companies should adopt the ESG integrations in the portfolio management. And recently we saw the COVID pendulums. In the COVID times, we faced the various types of casualties and various types of difficulties in the economies. So the precaution is better than cure. So before we turn the corrective actions, we take the medical policy which help us in the at the time of the illness. So in the ESG factors, we consider environmental, social, and governance. In the environmentals, we face the various problems in the water pollutions, air pollutions, soil pollutions, and in the social factors, the equalities, the gender equalities in the societies, and no harassment of the peoples in the workplace and the work-life balance. And the governance indicates that the equalities to all of the person of the societies. So it recognizes a both moral imperative and the financial necessity with evidence showing a link to better risk management and portfolio performance. According to the Global Sustainable Investment Alliance, GSIA 2020, the sustainable investment assets reached 35.3 trillion in 2020. Rapid growth underscores the increasing importance of ESG considerations in portfolio management and highlights the needs for rigorous academic research to understand the financial implications of ESG considerations. Climate change, social inequalities, and governance issues have highlighted public awareness. When the public will be aware about the ESG considerations, suppose that if I am an investor and I have the two options for the investments, and one company is follow the ESG consideration and sustainable finance and sustainability. So I try to purchase and invest those companies who is following the ESG factors. Stakeholders now demand accountability leading to closer scrutinies of ESG performance. Sustainable finance strategies like green bonds, impact funds, and social responsible investments. This is the literature review. In the literature reviews, I select some papers and I take the help and the quotes from the papers. And the sustainable finance, the Markowitz theories, and the 1952 is give the we investment those companies which is considering the ESG factors and without the sacrificing of the returns. Integrating ESG factors into investment decisions, sustainability practice helps companies manage risk and capitalize on opportunities. Research indicates that firms with robust ESG practice tend to exhibit lower volatile and higher resilience during economic downturns. Companies with strong environmental practice are better positions to mitigate risk. The companies who are following the ESG factors and sustainable finance, those are the better conditions compared to the other companies. It also creates opportunities for innovations and growth in renewable energy and clean technology sectors. Mostly companies are going on the electricals like the CB sectors and wind solar plants, wind plants for the electricity productions, and the solar plants for the electricity. Recently I go in the Gujarat, so I saw there are the 2 meters in the front of the house, 1 meters which productions of the solar systems electricity, and the second meter is the depend the companies which are providing the electricity on these areas, and the consumers are paying only those amounts which is the difference between which those are producing from the solar and which is taken from the companies which is supplying the electricities. This is the objectives of the research to assess the financial impact of ESG integrations on portfolio performance and risk management. Second objective is to present the analysis of published articles from the Scopus database that explore the connection between ESG integration and portfolio management. to analyze emerging trends in ESG integration using bibliometric analysis, identify gaps in the literature and purpose future research avenues also. This is the research methodology. In the research methodology, the research questions, this study aims to explore the ESG integration in the portfolio management. In the stage first, I selection of the database Scopus, article received 230, final database, I select 144, and selection of keywords, the ESG integration and portfolio and management. In the stage second, the collection of articles pertaining to ESG integrations in portfolio management. So I limit the some articles on the basis of shortlisting area business management and accounting, economics, econometrics and finance, published in journals or trade journals English language, and published during or after 2010 to 2024. Bibliometric analysis, systematic review using co-citations, co-authorship, and bibliographic coupling. Bibliographic analysis with the help of WatchViewer package and R package. This is the Prisma Guidelines 2020. In this Prisma Guidelines, firstly identifications the articles from the Scopus database, then screening on the basis of and some limitations of the articles, eligibility, the which articles I select on the study, and the some inclusion parts and some exclusion parts, and included the final database. These are the CSV files which is download from the Scopus database. Bibliometric analysis, the methodology sections and Scopus database, the total articles found from the Scopus database, and the final selection of the articles, and Prisma guidelines and softwares which I use in this study. This is the analysis portions, the author's keywords and occurrence. This is the map tree. In the map tree, ESG, the 48 articles on the basis of the map tree, and the 90% of the contributions of the ESG in this research. This is the analysis of the co-citation keywords networks. In these diagrams, we check that the ESG has the more impact and the more correlation with the another keywords. This is the word cloud. In the word clouds, the numbers which we are showing in the large proportions, that ESG has the greater contributions in this research, but the ESG does not be possible without the portfolio management, ESG investing, sustainability, green bonds. So small words are also the important as a large words. This is the analysis parts. ESG as a central themes, portfolio and risk management, sustainability and corporate governance, market trends, and institutional investors, technology and climate considerations also. This is the limitations of the study. Limitations is I select the some articles after the 2010 to 2024 and select the English language, and some limitations on the basis of economics, econometrics, and the finance. The major limitation is the database based on which this study has been conducted. So I select only the Scopus database. I can select the more database for the study also. The study of the 144 chosen articles shown that there is a lack of material established, the role of risk mitigations and through sustainable finance. So this is also the limitations that on the basis of the 144 articles, we examine the impact of the integrations of the ESG in the portfolio management. In cooperation of the more scholarly database, Web of Science, Google Scholars, also we can take the all database. The future scope. Thematic and content analysis can also be used as a tools for the better understanding of the ESG integration and portfolio management linkage. A model can be established with the help of different parameters mentioned in several studies to investigate a strong bonding between the area of studies. Further research can be conducted in the context of with the articles collected from various sources, journal articles, conference proceedings, reports, working papers also. This is the findings. It identifies the rare research gap, highlighting limited studies integrations, and the resilience on the Scopus database was a limitation, suggested the inclusion of the broader source like Web of Science and Google was also. Future research can benefit from thematic analysis, model development, and expanded data collection from the diverse source such as report, conference proceeding, and working paper also. Now the conclusion, this study presented a statistical analysis of the main characteristics of articles, co-authorship between the countries, keywords, more cited articles, and co-occurrence through the bibliometric analysis of the articles collected from the Scopus database. This study will also lay the future pathway to the conduct further research in context with the articles collected from the various sources. The analysis provides insights into emerging trends, key themes, and existing research gaps, guiding future study in the ESG investing and rating fields also. This is the references of the study, and thank you. And any suggestions?
Dr. Sandeep, I would like to appreciate for your presentation. It was quite well presented. And I think in a very comprehensive manner, you have kind of mentioned about the relevance of the study and kind of uh, illustrating the current state of knowledge and proposing your research methodology. Bibliometric analysis kind of also can be, if you think that in your field, you did mention upon the limitations, but just if you can also, in the future, look for some kind of quantitative study also in this particular area.
I mean, in future,
Yeah,
study on the second
yeah.
primary data also.
You have proposed that, yeah, I can see that. So maybe my co-chair can ask questions because it's more of qualitative study. So I don't have much of experience with this. Yeah. Thank you. All the best. But good work. Yeah.
Okay, Sandeep, just highlight, once you have done the entire bibliometric analysis, just share any 3 key learnings out of that, which you'll be taking into consideration when you'll be conducting your, quantitative study as a base.
In the bibliometric analysis, I learned the co-occurrence on the basis of the watch viewer and RStudio softwares, and it indicates that which countries has the more study on this topic, and some countries which has no study on this topic. So we have the opportunities done the study on these countries. So from it, this is the research gaps we can find, and in the future we can select the some variables, dependent and independent variables, and some moderate variables also. If we had done the study on the secondary database, on the secondary database, we can various softwares are available, like is the Provis, and from the Provis we can download the various ESG ratings of the companies, and we can quantitative analysis on the basis of the secondary data also.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the role of tactile technology and haptic feedback in marketing by Soma Singh.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Soumya Singh, and today I will be presenting my research on the topic the role of tactile technology and haptic feedback in marketing. So, this study explores how tactile technology enhances consumer engagement, brand perception, and purchase intent. Now I'll explain further what is it all about. Maybe it's a new topic for you all, but it has been researched before. There are not much studies conducted before, but still I think it's a very beautiful and a powerful topic. It can be used to revolutionize the marketing world and in fact the entrepreneurship as well. So I'll start. With the rapid advancement of mobile technology, brands are exploring innovative ways to interact with customers. So, one such tool is haptic feedback, which creates tactile sensations to enhance digital experiences. Tactile means touch sensations. When we use mobile apps, we play games on phones. We often give feedback unknowingly. Maybe we use touch to give feedback. That is touch sensations. So, what is haptic feedback? Haptic feedback refers to the use of vibrations, pressure, or motion to simulate the sense of touch in digital environments. Maybe it's a AI term, so it's not prevalent in us between us. It is widely used in mobile devices, gaming consoles, and VR and AR technologies. When applied in marketing, haptic feedback also allows brands to create a multi-sensory experience, so enhancing user engagement and emotional connection with the brand. So my focus with this research is on impact on consumer psychology, basically on consumer behavior. What is the impact on consumer, what he thinks about the brand, and how it can be enhanced using tactile technology and haptic feedback. Now the research objectives. So how haptic feedback influences brand perception and its impact on purchase intent and user engagement. How consumers respond emotionally to haptic feedback in mobile marketing. So maybe consumers are attached emotionally to the brands as well. So the role of haptics in enhancing digital marketing strategies. These are some of the research objectives which of this study. So I'll move further. This is the literature review. I must say this is an ongoing research first of all, and this is literature review. You can see maybe there are so many papers, but still there are not many written on this topic. I am trying to create a bridge between AI and marketing. So what I've done, I've take the research papers, done the literature review from both the spheres. That's why there are so many in number. So I would like to explain a few. The paper which best suits this topic is Kim et al. 2013 found that tactile sensations improve brand recall and user satisfaction. So this is the
Somi, you can just conclude the literature review. What is the summary of the same and the gap which you have identified through this?
ma'am, maybe it's very long, so you are saying me to do that, right?
Yeah, it's okay. No
Yeah,
worries.
I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, literature review. So I have gone through many studies and then come to this literature review. So it has explained what is tactile technology. So it's basically tactile or touch sensations and the haptic feedback which the consumers give when they use mobile phones or they use apps, specifically shopping apps and gaming apps. So the literature review only gives the only gives the definition of these concepts as well as how it can be used to enhance user engagement and brand perception. Now as it's on ongoing research, so this is the plan which I've made for the research and I'm following it also. It's not have been completed. So this is the research methodology which I'll be following though. So I have already made the structured questionnaire. I'm going through its final draft and then it will be ready for the circulation. It will be, as usual, it will be a survey method and my sample size is 200 participants because I feel it's feasible for me to choose a sample size of 200 participants, and it can be and I can also get the results from that also. And the scaling techniques which will be used is Likert scale, mainly Likert and ranking also. Cinematic differentials are also used, but mainly it's Likert and ranking. Then secondary data collection. So in last in this PPT also there are results. So that is based on secondary data collection only. Uh, so studies from peer-reviewed journals and industry papers have also found what are the results. And research methodology. So this sample size will be 200 respondents. It will be stratified random sampling to ensure diverse demographic and mobile app users. My research methodology is a mixture of both qualitative and quantitative. Recently, I've conducted 10 interviews as well among my neighborhood and people I know. So they are from different demographics. There are some students, some mobile app, some IT company employees, some mobile app creators, and everyone whom I know. So these are the people. And hypothesis, I have also formulated the hypothesis, because without hypothesis a research cannot be conducted. It should be a statement that we have to prove. So according to my understanding, this hypothesis has been formulated, which I have to prove. So, and the tools which I will be using is Excel for data analysis mainly, and I would like to also include R into this also. Results and discussions. So, my research objectives, I would like to go back to my research objectives that were to prove how it helps in increasing brand perception, helping consumers to purchase or for a brand. So, and this can be helpful. So in results, the other studies which have been done before, they also have proved the same thing, that it really helps, and this also helps to read the consumer behavior and the social psychology of the consumer. It's over. Okay, I'll just wind up. So this is the conclusion. And if we use this technology very well, I hope we can revolutionize the marketing world. The brand recall, the user engagement, and the purchase intent will be increased manifold times. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Soumya, again, your topic is very interesting, but I can see that you also need to work on your research in terms of, I can see the same set of, you know, mistakes regarding the research methodology and the data analysis tools. So, in case you have present in this session, you must have heard about all those, suggestions I have made. So, same goes for your particular methodology and the data analysis tools also. Yeah, so you can work on that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Soumya, can you highlight which type of research technique it is this?
Ma'am, my research methodology is a mixture of both primary and secondary, as well as qualitative and quantitative. I'm using survey method. I'm also using interview method. I'm taking both the methods in consideration.
Okay, and what was the sampling technique you have opted for?
Stratified random sampling.
And what exactly it is?
Ma'am, it is we do sampling on the basis of probability. We find out a small sample base and we use that for probability. We calculate it, ma'am. Then the number comes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I
ma'am.
hope you'll be incorporating all the suggestions given by Anjali ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Determinants of Gen Z's Impulsive Purchasing Behavior in Online Shopping by Dipender Singh.
So, very good afternoon, ma'am. So, my topic is determinants of Gen Z's on impulsive purchasing behavior in online shopping. Research overview is purpose of the study is to analyze the key factors influencing Gen Z's impulsive purchasing behavior in online shopping, and to assess the impact of social media, AI-driven recommendations, promotional tactics, and psychological triggers. To provide insights for e-commerce companies, digital marketers, and policymakers to optimize marketing strategies. So, significance in the current digital landscape is to Gen Z as digital natives rely on social media, influencer marketing, and AI driven personalization for shopping decisions. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram, along with flash sales and limited time promotions, drive impulsive buying behavior. AI powered product recommendations on platforms like Amazon, Myntra, and Flipkart enhance impulse purchases. Concerns about payment security, online fraud, and data privacy also impacts Gen Z's impulsive buying tendencies. So, ma'am, these are the literature reviews that I have referred for my research. So, methodology which has been adopted is research design and data collection are the quantitative approach using an online survey targeting Gen Z's. Data analysis, descriptive statistics, correlation, hypothesis testing like t-test or ANOVA, and regression analysis. And tools are used that are Microsoft Excel, SPSS for analysis results presented through charts and graphs. So, ma'am, I am currently doing the research. I am collecting the data through questionnaires, floating them online. So key determinants are social media influence like AI drive recommendations, time sensitive promotions, influencer marketing. So social media influence like platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube shape shopping trends, targeted ads, and viral content drive unplanned purchases. And AI recommendations is like personalized product suggestions based on browsing history and preferences. E-commerce platforms like Amazon and Flipkart using algorithms to enhance impulse buying. And influencer marketing, product endorsements by influencers build trust and influence buying decisions. Live shopping, events, and sponsored content increase engagement and conversions. So the key determinants that Gen Z is doing while the shopping. So the security concerns, promotional tactics, social media, AI-driven recommendations. Social media impact. Focus on TikTok and Instagram. These platforms dominate Gen Z's digital consumption, influencing shopping behaviors.
Yeah, Dipender, I have a question here. So you have identified these key determinants.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you, you know, mention upon that did you took these determinants through some theoretical model in the literature, or did you identify these variables from the supporting literature? What where is the support for these identification of determinants are there in this study?
I have identified these determinants from the previous literature reviews that the researchers has been done. And
So, what is the novelty in your paper, or your research? If these variables were already worked in the previous literature, they were already identified. What is the novelty in your study?
so, I am currently doing the research. My data has not been collected right now, so I am referring the previous researches for my factors that I have determined.
Think you didn't got my question in terms of trying to explain you that what is the purpose of your scope of your study if already these constructs are worked with? How you are contributing to the current state of knowledge? Yeah. Okay, so you need to work on this, right? You need to identify. We just have to go back to our literature, right?
Yes,
Find the gap from there, and then kind of, give a justification and rationale for that. Why I'm proposing this study? What is the need? What is the purpose of the study? How it is going to fill the current state of knowledge, right? So this is fine that you identified this research gap, but then you're posing those determinants. So how did you land into those determinants? Why only those 4 or those 5? Should come from some kind of either a already established theoretical model, or you should have some rationale to mention that how did you identify or selected only those. So just go back to your literature, and from there you can find answers to all these questions. And also your research methodology needs to be relooked on. The same errors I can find here also in terms of the data analysis techniques that you have proposed.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So you can just highlight the findings and just come to the findings.
Some findings from the literature review of the,
No, overall findings. Okay, you have not displayed. Okay, no worries. So you can just tell us about, after conducting the entire literature review, what was the gap which was being identified? See, if you are doing the same thing as ma'am has told you, which has already been done by other researchers, so there's no newness in your work, right? So there's no novelty in your work, right? So what extra you are contributing, how you will be contributing to the existing knowledge, that is the question ma'am is raising. So if you're doing the same thing, there's no purpose of doing it.
No, basically, that they have shown that these are the factors which they have completed in previously, but now I am doing it for this time, like for the Gen Zs only. They have worked for millennials and Gen Y only.
Okay. I hope you'll be taking into consideration all the suggestions.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we are done for today.
Thank you. That was truly an insightful session with thought provoking research and discussions. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of all our presenters. Also, a big thank you to our session chairs, Dr. Anjali Munde, University of Southampton, Malaysia, and also our session coordinator, Dr. Saloni Pahuja, Amity School of Business.
It was an honor to guide the event and engage in such an inspiring group of speakers and attendees. The conference was a great success thanks to your meticulous planning and the collective efforts of everyone involved. With that, we conclude this session. See you all in the upcoming discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You can close the session.